We're back with page 58 of the Giggler treatment by Roddy Doyle. Ooh, I'm wondering if they're going to intercept Mr. Mac before he steps into the dog poo. Let's see. Chapter 16. This chapter, by the way, is the great grandson of chapter 1. Oh, Roddy Doyle. Back at the station, Mr. Mac finally turned away from the seagull. "Goldfish," said the seagull. "Yuck." But Mr. Mac wasn't interested anymore. He turned his head in no time to see the poo. No, his foot was right over the poo now, and the poo was shaped exactly like a shoe, so Mr. Mac couldn't see it. Shoe-shaped poo. It looked exactly like the shoe's shadow. It was a trick Rover had practiced over the years, and a lot of dedication and dog food had gone into getting it right. Don't try it at home, kids, unless there's an adult with you. "How much now?" said the middle-sized Giggler. 3 inches. "My goodness," said Mr. Mac. "These are the all-time stiffest trousers I've ever worn." And he thought he heard a dog barking. This chapter is named after Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley? Because he lives under the shed in our back garden. Mr. Mac did hear a dog, but it wasn't Rover. It was just a dog. Rover wasn't really a barking kind of dog. "Actions speak louder than woofs" was Rover's motto, and right now Rover was probably the most active dog in the world. He ran like the wind's big brother with Kyla, his baby jockey, on his back. He galloped so fast his paws hardly touched the ground. "This is cool," said his left paw, the front one. "Good old Rover," said the right paw. "He's a flyer." "Abba," said Kyla. "Yep," said Rover. "I'm the only dog in the world with talking paws. Hang on tight." And he galloped past the shops. The bread shop, the sweet shop, the twirly-colored pasta that's very nice with cheese shop. Rover was fast, and so was Robbie, even with the Giggler on his back. He was faster than Rover, and he was catching up. Past the bread shop, past the sweet shop, and Billie Jean was faster still, even with Jimmy on her back and heavy mountain boots on her feet. She was zooming down the street and catching up. Look at this great picture. With Robbie past the twirly-colored pasta that's very nice with cheese shop. Rover, Robbie, and Billie Jean, they were the fastest things on 8 feet. But would they be quick enough? A very short chapter to let you know how many inches Mr. Mac's foot was away from the poo. 2. There's more than one side to every story, and this story has lots of sides. The cream crackers give their side of the story. "We weren't there. We saw nothing. Isn't that interesting?" Silly cream crackers. A real chapter. Rover ran. The clothes shop, the toy shop, the coloring pencil shop. As he ran past the pet shop, he looked at the doggies in the window. "So long, suckers," he shouted. The shoe shop, the sock shop, the grandfather clock shop. Robbie and Billie Jean caught up with him. "Do you know any good shortcuts, Rover?" said Robbie. "Woof," said Rover. He wasn't going to talk in front of an adult. He didn't care how nice she was. Rover gives his side of the story.
Shh, I have to be very quiet. If my owner wakes up and catches me typing on his computer, I'll have a lot of explaining to do. I can just hear him.
How did Rover plug it in? Just what exactly was Rover doing in here? How did Rover know how to spell his name?
He nearly caught me last week. I was sending an email to my girlfriend in Galway. Her family moved there a few months ago, and I've a feeling I miss her more than she misses me. Anyway, there I am writing her a love poem, trying to think of a good word to rhyme with Lassie. That's her name, by the way, when I hear the owner turning on the bedside light. I was out of here and downstairs on my mat before his feet hit the floor. Then he must have noticed that the computer was on. And do you know what he said?
Who put the paw prints on the mouse?
Can you believe that? Who lives here, for dog's sake? The owner, his wife, 4 big kids, and 1 dog. The owner, his wife, and the 4 big kids have hands and feet, and the 1 dog has paws.
Who put the paws on the mouse? The man asked.
Anyway, I still have to be careful, even if my owner isn't exactly a master detective. There's only one thing I want to say. If I had known that the Gigglers were going to use my poo on the Mac guy's shoe, I would never have sold it to them. I swear to God, I never would have done it. I have to make a living, and I like what the Gigglers do. I like their style. But I've seen the Mac guy playing with his kids. He's a good father, a loving husband. All that corny stuff. He brings biscuits home from work, and he often throws a few over the wall to a good old Rover. Okay, they're not exactly fresh, but it's the thought that counts. I like the guy, and I'll say that if Rover likes a guy, he doesn't go around pooing on his shoe. At any rate, that's all I wanted to say. I'd better get out of here. The owner is mumbling in his sleep. That means he's going to get up for a pee or a sandwich. I'm out of here. Double click.
How many inches now? 1. Just 1 inch. The sole of Mr. Mac's shoe was an inch, less than an inch from the tip of the poo. Where were Rover and Kayla? Where were Robbie and the even smaller than the smallest Giggler? Where were Billie Jean and Jimmy? 2/3 of an inch, half an inch, less than half an inch. Where were they? Oh goodness, they have to stop it. Stop Mr. Mac from stepping in the poo.
Well, where were they?
Rover knew a shortcut. Rover knew every shortcut in town. Rover knew every shortcut in the world. Rover ran, and the others followed him. He ran down the lane beside the cake shop. At the end of the lane, a wall. Rover jumped, and at the other side, a small river.
Hang on, kid.
Rover jumped. His back paws touched the water. His nails scratched the riverbank. Mud and stones fell back into the river, but Rover made it across. "Abba," said Kayla. "Thanks, Toots," said Rover. He kept running. Robbie jumped, but he was going to fall into the river. He hadn't jumped far enough. He held his nose and got ready for the splash when Billie Jean, in midair, grabbed the back of Robbie's shirt and continued on her jump across the river. They all landed in a big heap on the other bank. "Isn't this great fun?" said Billie Jean. "Don't forget the poo, Mum," said Jimmy. "Oh, yes," said Billie Jean. And they were off again after Rover and Kayla. How far now? Less than half an inch. The gigglers behind the wall got their ears ready. Oh, they loved that sweet sound, the glorious squelch of an adult foot sinking into the best poo that money could buy. It was music to their furry ears. Mr. Mac could hear the train coming. Whew, I wonder if he's going to do it. We'll find out at the next reading.